Hello again, my name is Nate with the Volunteer Tech Vlog, as you know, and this is a little video series on the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me, all you students of audio and video technology. I am also a student of audio video technology, just documenting my adventures as a volunteer tech, and also sharing that information with you so that it can bring you value and start a conversation and get you thinking about things, get me thinking about and processing things at the same time. So I think it's a good practice. Quote from Avatar: "Good science is good observation." And so just being able to process and observe and talk through things into this little dash camera as if you were coming along for a ride with me is a good way for me to process what's happening. And in this video, I want this to be, I guess it'll fall under audio lessons, but it can apply to many things. The value of showing up early and the value of just being somewhere on time, just showing up, right? So you've got this one concept of, oh man, I wish I could remember who quoted this, but I mean, if you just show up, somebody will write this in the comments. I'll just have to Google it later. But just showing up is going to get you pretty far in life. And I've definitely noticed that to be true. I used to work as a stagehand, as a summer job, over at the Tweeter Center, which is now called the Comcast Center, but was formerly Great Woods. Anyway, it's the big amphitheater where all the bands that come through Boston play. They don't actually play in Boston most of the time. They go out to Mansfield and play at this huge outdoor, partially covered amphitheater. But anyway, I worked as a stagehand there, and I did whatever they needed me to do. I'd set up audio, I'd help out with rigging, I'd do carpentry, I'd do backline, video, lights, whatever, So it was kind of a cool position because I got to see how a major production comes together. And I got to learn how to use a wrench. And, I wasn't ever, the lead guy organizing things, but I was one of the workers, the laborers that was, wheeling things in and out of 18-wheelers and plugging things in and running cables and doing all that fun stuff. But I just wanted to stress that point is like the value of showing up early. So right now I'm on my way to the church and I'm trying to get there about a half hour earlier than the musicians show up. And I just find, I know it's tough to wake up early sometimes, but I have found that if you can get there early, get the system turned on, get a CD playing, start labeling your media. If you've got any physical media like CDs or DVDs you need to label, just little things like that just help the morning go so much smoother. So just the value of showing up early is huge. And little story back to my days as a stagehand. I ended up living about 15 minutes away from the amphitheater, and a lot of these stagehands drove for like an hour to get to this particular place. I mean, there's multiple sites around the New England area where concerts would happen, and the same handful of crew members would be called into these different jobs. So every once in a while you'd have to drive, a little distance, or drive into the city at like 3 a.m. or something crazy for a load in at Fenway. But that was a fun job too. But anyway, the point is, I ended up living pretty close. So somebody didn't show up or slept in or called out sick or whatever. And I remember I got called back, even though I was like super new guy there. I remember getting a call back saying, "Hey, you want to come back for a show call?" Basically. And, I think that's what they referred to it as. But basically, as a new guy, low guy on the totem pole, you'd come to these, you do the load in and you do the load out typically. So you'd be there at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., help everybody set up. Then you'd leave, you go home and take a nap, have lunch. Then you come back at like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., catch the tail end of the show. And, maybe not 6 p.m. Maybe you come back more like 9 or 10 p.m. And then the loadout would start at like 11, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy hours. It was a fun job while I was a college student. But, so anyway, you'd work a little bit early in the morning and a little bit late at night. And the senior people got to work during the day. They got called back to work during the show, and you'd get paid like time and a half or whatever it was. You get paid a lot more because you'd accumulate so many more hours. And so I remember just by being reliable and showing up on time, some opportunities ended up coming my way, and the fact that I lived close to the stadium, that, you know, or the amphitheater, that helped too. But there was one time when I slept through my alarm, but I'll have to save that story for another time. That was a little bit of an embarrassing moment. But anyway, have a great day out there, all you volunteer techs. I will see you in the next video.